accepted. Let's move on now. Yeah. So we are on the 9th Adhyay, as you know, the Adhyay where Bhagwan Krishna tells Arjun the secret knowledge, the supreme knowledge. And we have been hearing this supreme knowledge and this supreme secret for the last several weeks. We have done 22 shlokas already. And last time we did the central shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, which gives the supreme secret of how to attain liberation and who are Bhagwan's chosen ones and what Bhagwan does for them, the guarantee that Bhagwan has given them. Today's shlokas, I'm going to attempt to do 3 of them because together they form a topic. Let's see how long it takes. If it takes too long, I will cut it short. So let's go on with shlok number 23. Yepyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidipurvakam. Bhagwan tells Arjun, Arjun, even those devotees who, endowed with faith, worship other gods with some interested motive, worship me alone, though with a mistaken approach. So Bhagwan starts with even those devotees. So what does it mean by even those devotees? Of course, he's referring to the earlier shlok number 22, where Bhagwan talked about his chosen bhaks, the ones who have attained the highest spiritual sadhana. And he has also said that he gives the guarantee of providing for those bhaks whatever they need, and also for protecting whatever they have, yoga kshema. So what were the criteria that made these special bhaks so chosen for Bhagwan, that Bhagwan is giving the highest guarantee to them? Of course, we did that in the last episode on last Thursday, but let me recap them for you. Ananya Shintayanto, 1. Mam ye jana paryupasate, 2. Nitya bhiyukta, 3. What makes these bhaks so special? Their firm understanding, their nishtha. That firm understanding is what? Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is a manifestation of Brahma only. These bhaks who have done so much sadhana, purified their antakaran, they have understood the very essence of Vedanta. So with that understanding, whatever they see, everything, everyone, they see as the self. Not only they see and understand that everything is no different from the self, but whatever the action they do, they perform it as worship of the self. And 3, because of that very fact that whatever they see it as the self, whatever they do as worship of the self. That means they are constantly united with the self, Nidhi Dhyasan. So Bhagwan's chosen bhaks, Bhagwan says they are worshipping me, that is Bhagwan, with complete faith. What is that complete faith? Complete faith in whatever is being taught in the Shastras by the Guru. There is no preference of what they prefer to follow and what they prefer to avoid. Complete faith. Whatever the Shastra says, they have full faith in that. And they worship God as no different from the self. Nothing is apart. Not prithaktvena, ekatvena. Okay? So even everyone is Bhagwan. Everything is nothing different from the self. Even the Devtas are no different from that Supreme Being. So this is Shlok 22, where Bhagwan is saying, the guarantee I gave of Yogakshem is to these bhakts. So that is why today's shloka starts with even those devotees, means number 23 is talking about other devotees who are not constantly united with the self, who do not see the devtas and other people as the very ekatvain vision, as the self itself. They don't perform every action as worship of the self. What about those devotees? They are worshipping other devtas. Which other devtas? Bhagwan will mention Vasus, Rudras, Adityas, etc. All devtas. So what happens to those devotees? They are also worshipping with faith. But is it that they will have the result of Gata Gatam? What is that? Going into Swarga and coming back. So let's see what Bhagwan says about these devotees in today's shloka. Bhagwan says, Tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. Arjun, even they are worshipping me alone, though with a mistaken approach. Mistaken approach. What is this mistaken approach, and what makes these devotees who are worshipping various Ishtadevs, what is making them different from the devotee of Shlok 22? First difference. They are not worshipping as the self. They are worshipping as Devta is separate from me. Devta is not the same as the self. And they obviously feel that the Devta is something higher up who is there with extra powers, and they are separate from me. That is the first difference. And the second difference, Bhagwan clearly says in the shloka that they are worshipping with some interested motive. Interested motive, of course, you understand, means some desire to be fulfilled. That is why people do puja. No? They do it for asking Bhagwan for this, that, and the other. Now, the rishis of ancient times, they understood the human mind perfectly. What they knew is that the mind is literally, you can say, infested with desires. And because of that, people will always be running out into the world to fulfill these desires. But they wanted some method of making people's minds turn to God. Even though they are running into the world to fulfill their desires, what is the way for them to remember God? What is the way for them to turn towards God, even if it is to fulfill their personal desires or worldly pursuits? So the rishis divinized every worldly pursuit. What does that mean? So if people are running after wealth, then they will go to Lakshmi Mata, a form of the divine. If they need food, they will worship Annapurna Mata. If they want knowledge of the world, of sciences and arts, they will go and worship Saraswati Mata. If there are a lot of obstacles, they want their obstacles to remove, they will go and pray in Ganesha's temple, Hanumanji's temple, remove my obstacles. In their worldly pursuits, they are turning to God. Some way, at least, of making people turn their mind towards the divine. So, the fact is that if you go to the Vedanta side of the Shastras, the Upanishad side of the Shastras, the philosophy side of the Vedas are divided into two parts. You know that, right? Karmakand and Gyankand. So this is all in Karmakand, how to go and ask for your wishes to the various gods, how to say the mantras, how to do the yagnas, how to do the puja, is all in Karmakand. But there is a Gyankand also. What does that say? That says in reality, there is nothing other than the self. Everything is one divinity only. Now, when the devotee is worshipping with interested motive, he is invoking certain devatas to fulfill his desires. What he doesn't know, the mistaken approach, the ignorance, what he doesn't know is that when he invokes the devatas, what he's actually doing is he is only invoking his own dormant capacities, the self. He's invoking the self, although he doesn't know it. This is his mistaken approach. And that is what differentiates him from those chosen bhaks that Bhagwan described in Shlok 22. That is why Bhagwan in this shloka calls this way of worshipping, see the word, avidhi purvakam. Avidhi. Vidhi means a method, a law, an order, a discipline, the correct way. Avidhi. Avidhi means not the correct way. Not the correct way means ignorance, mistaken approach, mistaken way. So, what do the Upanishads, what do the Shastras tell us is the correct vidhi? What is the correct way of doing upasana? So, when we are doing upasana, we are invoking an upasana devata. We are invoking some higher power, some devata. We are invoking, right? So this upasana devata that we are invoking to fulfill our desires, the Shastras tell us that this is no other than Atma itself. Because there is nothing other than the self. So if our upasana is being performed, is being offered with this firm understanding, what understanding? That there is only a katvena way of worshipping, then it is the right form of upasana. But if the upasana is done without knowing that the devatas are also nothing other than different manifestations of that one supreme being, then that upasana is based in ignorance. And secondly, another ignorance which I find really unbelievable, but it exists, is that belief or that notion that my devta, my ishtadev is better than yours. My ishtadev is greater than yours. My ishtadev is the only ishtadev that one needs to pray to. That is the height of ignorance, because there is nothing other than the one Atma. So if you are doing your upasana with that right understanding, with that right faith, then your upasana becomes fruitful. It becomes successful. And if it is done with the wrong understanding of separateness, prithakttvena, then it is based in ignorance, and therefore the result or the highest result or the ultimate result will be missing. Let me quote something from Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. It says, one who thinks that a devta is somewhere else while I am here and that we are separate does not know, does not have correct knowledge. So this is what Bhagwan is giving us, an understanding how we should do our upasana, what will be the result of correct way of doing upasana, and what will be the result of not doing it correctly. Let's go to the next shlok because Bhagwan explains that a little bit further. 24. Aham hi sarvayagyanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha na tu mama bijananti tatvena tasya vantite. For I am the enjoyer and also the Lord of all sacrifices. But they do not know me in reality as the supreme deity. They fall. That means they return to life on earth. So, as I said, when you perform a yagna, you are invoking a devta. But Shastras are telling us this devta that you're invoking, a particular devta, who is, the Shastras say, will help you to get wealth, will help you to get job, will help you to get son, will help you to get married, whatever, whatever, whatever. All these are no other than the self. They do not know me in reality. That is what Bhagavan is saying. So, if you remember, just make a note there and go and see in chapter 4, Shlok 24. When you do a yagna, everything Bhagavan says is the self. The yagna kund is the Brahma. The person performing the yagna is Brahma. The one to whom you are performing the yagna, the devta, that is also Brahma. The oblations are also Brahma. The ladle with which you are putting is also Brahma. Everything is Brahma. There is no other thing other than the self or other than Brahma. But Bhagavan says, Na tu mama bijananti. They do not know me. They don't know the self. Those who don't know the self, they don't know their own identity. They don't know the nature of the self. They only operate from their limited understanding, their limited self. That means they are operating out of ego, limited self. So they cannot comprehend that notion of oneness. And so they continue to live at the lower level of operating out of plurality, operating out of separateness, operating out of ego. What is that thing that they have to understand? Tattvena. They have to understand Tattva Gyan. They have to get knowledge of who am I. When they know who am I, they will know who is the I in all. They will know what is Jiva. They will know what is Atma. They will know what is Paramatma. And then they will know that all are one and the same. And that is what the Guru is trying to explain to the Shishya. This Tattva Gyan is all that the Guru wants to pass on to the Shishya. The Guru's job is not to give you wealth or job or mother or father ka conflicts or children ka problems. The Guru's job is to take out the wrong understanding from your mind that you have been cultivating for lifetimes. Take out the wrong understanding and go into the real understanding of who you are. Who am I? Everything you understand of the world, but you don't know who am I. And so the Guru continuously, year after year, decade after decade, will go on giving you this same concept. Take out this wrong understanding and understand the real notion of your own identity. So he will keep redirecting the Shishya. Because redirecting from what? Right now, all your senses are going towards the seen, Vishay, Sansar. So Bhagwan is trying to, through Bhagwan, through the Guru, the Shishya's job is to redirect his vision from the seen to the seer. And this can be done through the Mahavakyas, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Now, the one who has purified his intellect, who has done the sadhana of purifying the intellect, who has removed the mal, removed the vikshep, slowly, slowly, slowly will come to this understanding, the correct understanding. And when he comes to the correct understanding, he will be connected with the self rather than connected all the time with the non-self. Right now, everyone is connected with non-self. He needs to redirect his energies towards the self. And when that happens, this Tattva Gyan will bloom, will blossom inside him. And that is when he will be spared of the bondage of sansar. He will be spared with the suffering which is connected with bondage to sansar. So what is this correct understanding? Go back to the shloka. Aham hi sarva yagyanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. In all the yagnas, sarva yagyanam, in all the yagyas, in all the sacrifices, in all the pujas, in everything that you perform, in all your upasanas, aham hi, I alone am bhokta and prabhu. I alone am the bhokta. I am alone the enjoyer. And I am alone the prabhu, the Lord of all your upasana. Who is saying this? The self, Brahma, Atma. Let's go to Aham Bhokta. I am the enjoyer, Bhagwan is saying. Now you are doing a yagna. To perform any action, what do you use? Organs of perception, organs of action. You also use your mind. You also use your intellect, right? These are the faculties we use. With the organs of sense organs, what do? You perceive. With the mind, you feel. With the intellect, you think. And with the organs of action, you act. You do the action. Now, all these faculties, senses, mind, buddhi, action, hands, legs, whatever, can they operate without Atma? No, they are Jad. Unless Atma enlivens them, they have no power to do anything. You cannot even lift one finger like this if Atma is not enlivening it. These are all insentient faculties. Atma makes them sentient. So the substratum of your sense organs, the substratum of your mind, the substratum of your intellect, the substratum of your organs of action, all of this is the self alone, Atma. So although I am performing the yagna, I am giving the dan, I am going on yatra, I am doing this, I am doing that, you feel the BMI is doing all these things. Actually, the experiencer of all these actions is the self alone. Aham hi bhokta. Everything is being experienced by the I, the only I that is sentient, through the BMI. Therefore, when we have so much pride, I am doing this yagna, I am doing this, I am doing that, I am getting the benefit, know that none of this is possible without the substratum Atma. Then Bhagwan says, Aham Prabhu Revacha. I am also the Lord. I am the Lord of all the sacrifices. So, for what reason we do all these sacrifices, yagnas? To fulfill our desires, correct? Now, each deity, as I said earlier, has been given a symbol of what power they possess. So, Lakshmi ji will give us wealth, and Saraswati ji will give us knowledge, and etc., etc. So, all these deities, all these devatas, all these devas have got one particular power, one particular faculty of that supreme one reality. Okay, Ishwar. Now, when you worship only that particular deity with that one particular power, what are we doing? We are worshipping a limited range of the Supreme Being's absolute power. Just for wealth, we are doing the yajna. Just for one son, we are doing the yajna. Just for one obstacle removal, we are doing the yajna. Whereas we could be invoking the Supreme Being's absolute power. So our limited worship is resulting in limited results. This is all you want. Only you want a nano. Okay, I'll not give you for Mercedes, like that. You could have asked for Mercedes, but you asked for nano. I'll give you nano. Exactly like that. So that is why people's needs and greeds and desires never get fully completed. Limited here, limited here. Go to this temple, beg for this. Go to that temple, beg for this. Go to this yatra, beg for this. Go and do pravarchan, parikrama of this devta, ask for this. Limited desires with limited worship, limited fulfillment. So no desire can be completely resolved when the worship is limited. Bhagwan says, Aham Prabhu, I am the Lord. I am the one who gives you your result. The substratum of all the devas is Atma, that Supreme Being. Therefore, worship of the devtas has to be done with this correct understanding. Okay? So Bhagwan says, okay, but this is how people are doing it. What will be the outcome of this limited worship? Bhagwan tells us in this shloka, they fall. They fall. Shyavanti, they fall. Even after doing so much sadhana, so much puja, so much yagna, and they do it with great gusto, great diligence, lot of effort, lot of energy, lot of purusharth, they still are not doing it with the notion of ekatvena, without realizing the oneness of the Supreme Being. Therefore, they are taking the fruit of that yagna on themselves. Therefore, at the time of the death, their Ishtadev, their Bhagwan, who they are invoking, they will go to the respective worlds of those gods. Each Bhagwan has a realm of existence. So they will go to that respective world of the gods and they will enjoy there, like maybe in Swarga or here or there, wherever. I will not give the names. At the end, they will enjoy over there. And at the end of all that enjoyment, where will they come back? Mrityulok. We studied that earlier. They'll come back to Mrityulok, come back to earth. They'll get a new body. And the whole thing will start once again. So, Bhagwan is giving us the different forms of upasana along with the results of these different forms of upasana. This was the introduction to that. Now, the next shloka, Bhagwan gives us clearly the 4 ways that devotees can worship and the results of these 4 ways of worship. Let's go there to shlok number 25. This is the last shlok I will be doing today. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrunyanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhya jinopimam. Those who are votaries of gods go to gods. Those who are votaries of mains reach the mains. Those who adore the spirits reach the spirits. And those who worship me come to me alone. That is why my devotees are no longer subject to birth and death. What is the meaning of votaries? Worshippers. So, in these 4 ways of worship, 3 of them are based in ignorance, 1 of them is based in knowledge, supreme knowledge. So, let us see the 3 kinds of worship which are based on ignorance. And why we call them based on ignorance? Because people worship according to their gunas. You know, gunas are prakriti. So they are what you are born with. So according to what you are born with, that is the form of worship you will be doing. The first one is Deva Vrata, worshippers of gods, Devtas, Devas. Bhagwan says, those who are predominantly sattvic in their gunas, they will be worshipping the devas. Which kind of devas? In the Bhashya of Shankaracharya ji, who has given the Bhashya of the Gita, he has mentioned the devas as Rudras, Vasus, and Adityas. Now, who are these kinds of devas? Rudras, Vasus, and Adityas. For that, I will give you a very brief understanding. Of course, it's a very big topic, but in short, I will tell you about the Vedic cosmology. They say that the universe is divided into 3 realms, 3 parts. One is called upper, then there's a middle realm, and then there's a lower realm. Okay. Now, upper realm, there are 4 upper realms. There are 3 middle realms in which our earth, Bhu, our Bhu is called earth. We are in the middle realm. And then there are 7 lower realms. Okay. 4 upper are like beyond Swarga. Swarga, Bhuvar, and Bhu, they are the middle. And then all the lower realms like Patal, Tal, Atal, Vital, etc., they are the lower 7 realms. Now, Aditya, Rudra, and Vasu, who Bhagwan Shankaracharya clearly mentions, they are called the Devas. Devas or demigods, they are called. And they are the ones who control the middle realm. Middle realm means earth, Bhu, Swarga, like heaven, and Bhuvar is the realm between Bhu and Swarga. So, these 3 groups of devas control this middle realm. So, there are 8 Vasus in all. They look after the laws of nature and all the Vedic knowledge that is there. They are in control of that. The Adityas are 12 in all, and people worship these 12 forms of Aditya for material rewards. So when you are praying to any god for any reward or for any desire, you are praying to one of the 12 Adityas. And then there are 11 Rudras. They are in charge of punishments. So Adityas give rewards and Rudras give punishments. And Vasus take care of the laws of the nature on which basis the Adityas and the Rudras govern. Okay. So when we say that we are worshipping the Devas, what is that worship? All the vrats that you do. I take this vrat, that vrat, I will fast at this time, I will not do this, I will not do that. This is called vrat. This is worship of the Devas. Because why we are doing the vrat? We are trying to please the Devas. For what reason we are trying to please the Devas? To get something from them. Okay, when we do dan during the yagna, that is also a form of worship of the Devas. Your pujas, your pradakshinas, your yatras, these are all doing worship, upasana of the Devas. And we want to please these Devas. So, these people who are worshipping the Devas, I told you earlier, they are sattvic, predominantly sattvic. Their mind also is sattvic while they are doing the pujas. They have this tremendous faith in the Devas. So after death, they go to the loka of the devas. They go to Deva Loka, the realm of the devas that they have worshipped. Bhagavan says Devan, Devan. They go to the devas. They will enjoy there, but then they have to come back to earth. That is the first kind of worshipper based on ignorance of Ekatvena. Although they are sattvic, they don't yet have the knowledge of the self. They are still seeing the devas as separate from them. Understand that. They are sattvic, but they have not yet got the knowledge of the self. The second kind of worshipper is Pitruvrata, worshipper of the mains. Mains means deceased ancestors. They worship their deceased, the ancestors, family members who have passed on. Bhagavan says these kind of worshippers are predominantly of rajasic quality. Their guna is predominantly rajasic. How do they worship their ancestors? They honor them, they appease them by doing the yagnas, Shrad, Yanti. These are all the ways of worshipping the, giving offerings, tarpan and all that is for the mains, for their ancestors. They give food, they give water, they give the Pandit who does, they will give them umbrella, they will give clothes, etc., etc. They do prayers, they do chanting. Why do they do all this? One is for the well-being of the Pitrus. They believe in the this yagna will help the Pitrus move on in their journey. But they also do it for getting blessings from the Pitrus because they believe that the Pitrus have a great influence on those who are living. Who are these people who do these yagnas, etc., for the Pitrus? They are the ones who have had a very strong emotional attachment to the family while the parents and the ancestors have been alive. There's a very strong attachment, a very strong bond with the family. And this attachment is continuing even after their passing. This is the rajas, which is allowing this attachment to continue even after death. Now, where do these Pitrus abide? What is their realm of staying after death? It is called Pitruloka. It's a special realm between Swarga and Bhu. So, they are considered, who are these Pitrus? They are considered to be spiritual beings, not devas. They are spiritual beings because they are in the astral world and they are able to, they believe they are able to influence the well-being of the people who are still on earth. They are not devas, but they have certain maybe ability to influence life on earth. So now, should one perform these yagnas, Shrad, Yanti? Should we perform or should we not perform? That's a question. If you are performing these rites with attachment, thinking they are my family and my love and my attachment, if you are performing these to get some desire that please give me this, please give me that, if all this is happening while you are doing this upasana, this yagna, then what happens is after death, the worshipper will go to the realm of the ancestors, Pitrun. They will go to Pitrulok. Many people will still believe that, okay, you have passed on, my parents have passed on, my loved one has passed on. After my death, we will meet again. This notion, we will meet again, is probably in Pitrulok, you will meet again. This is the wrong understanding. But if you are doing these rites, if you are performing these yagnas as a spiritual practice, if you are meditating on the ancestors without attachment, without desire, you're just doing it as a yagna, then you will progress spiritually. If not, you will go to Pitrulok and then fall again back to Pulok. So first one was worshippers of devas. Second was worshippers of mains or ancestors. And the third one is Bhutejya, worshipper of spirits. So Deva worship is Sattvic, Pitru worship is Rajasic. Those who are predominantly Tamasic in their gunas, they are the ones who are always gripped with fear, some negative qualities, maybe miserliness, maybe arrogance, maybe dvesh. This is a negative quality. These are negative qualities, and they are of tamasic nature, tamasic guna. So because their minds are constantly, polluted with tamoguna, their minds become open for tamasic beings to enter through the astral world. That is the danger of being continuously in a negative state of mind. You are opening your mind to negative beings entering. So they are constantly worshipping those spirits because of their fear, because of their miserliness, because of their arrogance, because of the negative qualities. These astral beings are called yakshas, rakshas. There's a form called Vinayak, and then there are the 16 Maitrikas. So when the worshipper, they do yagnas, they perform yagnas, invoking these spirits, invoking these beings. Their mind is in a tamasic mode, and probably because of that constant conditioning of tamas, perhaps after death, they will enter the realm of those very beings, Bhutani. Okay. What can one say about all these three ways of worship? They are avidhi purvakam. Avidhi, not vidhi, avidhi. They are filled with wrong method of upasana. They will yield only limited results. Maybe you'll go to Devalok, but then it is limited. After some time, come back to zero. The Devas will go to Devalok, they'll come back. The ones who are worshipping Pitrus will go to Pitrulok, enjoy a little bit there, come back. Those who are worshipping the Bhutas, the spirits, they will go to the spirit world. None of these forms of worship will liberate you. None of them will help you get moksha. None of them will help you merge with the divine. This is a great secret that Bhagavan Krishna is giving to us through his samvad with Arjun. So what should we do? Bhagavan has given not only what is wrong, but in this shlok is also given what is correct. The fourth kind of worship, the fourth kind of devotee is the true devotee. What makes him different? He does not worship according to his gunas. Why does he have these gunas? He is born with them because of the sanskars from his previous lifetime. He is not worshipping according to his gunas. He is not worshipping according to the sanskars with which he was born. You will come to this world with whatever wealth or ignorance you have brought from your previous lifetimes. But does it mean that just because you entered the world with some limited knowledge, you should live out your life with that limited knowledge and die also with the limited knowledge? Or with Vivek, can you choose a higher guna, a higher understanding, a better sanskar? You are born with Prakriti. Can you not make it a higher form of Sanskruti? Prevent it from going into Vikruti or even staying in the same Prakriti. So the ones who have Vivek, they will approach a Jnani. They will not just do what their parents have done. They will not just do what their tradition is telling them to do. They will not just follow mechanically what they have been born into. They will approach a Jnani. They will understand Ekatvena. They will understand everything is Brahma. They will understand that there is no difference between Atma and Brahma. The highest truth is the self. And with that, they will turn their minds inwards. Instead of meditating on devtas, they will meditate on the self. And when they turn their mind inwards and meditate on the self, slowly, 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 they will attain self-knowledge, which will ripen into Tattva Gyan. And when it ripens into Tattva Gyan, they will become Jivan Mukta. And that kind of worship Bhagwan calls Madhyajino, those who worship me alone, the fourth category. Those who see the presence of God in all beings, in all things, in all devtas, they are wholly engaged with every action becoming a worship of the God. Bhagwan spoke about this at length in Shlok 22, which we did last time. They yanti madhya jinopi mam. They come to me alone. Come to me alone means they merge with the divine. So the message of these three shlokas and what you have to take back with you is whatever you worship, you will become. Whatever you meditate on, you will become. Whatever you think you are in the mind, that you will be. You are choosing what you want to be by what you are dwelling on, by what you are putting your mind on. Put your mind on dvesh, put your mind on negativity, put your mind on fear, put your mind on judging others. You will go to the realm of bhut. Put your mind continuously in attachment, in moh, you will go to the land of Pitrulok. If you keep seeing the devtas as separate from you, the power to help you fulfill your desires, you will go to Devalok. But if you see everything as one, if you see there's no difference between self and Atma and Paramatma, then you will merge with the divine. If you know the self, you will know everything. That is the upasana that the Vedas, the Upanishads in Gyan Kand are prescribing. This is Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya, which we are so privileged and fortunate to understand. No point in doing the wrong upasana for your entire life, thinking you're doing the right one, and then not getting the highest result. Think about that and see how you can make it the highest upasana with the highest result. Okay? Oh. 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 Satoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Chidarpanam. Jai Gurudev. Thank you all for joining. God bless you all. Thank you, Suneet, for chanting. See you all on Monday and tomorrow. God bless.
That'll be cheaper.
Thank you, Suneet.
Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, Suneet. Pranam Ma. Good night, all.
Thank you, Zoom team. Thank you. God bless Alena. God bless Jainam. God bless Ojas and all my big shishis. So God bless you all. God bless.
Thank you.
Hari Om. God bless. God bless. God bless.